Hey everybody, I want to apologize in advance for the very crappy quality of this, because I'm using my webcam because my camera isn't working right for some reason. But this is my Deathly Hallows review, and there will be spoilers, so I just want to warn you ahead of time that there will be spoilers. Um, uh, if I'm not looking directly at you, I'm looking at my list of things I typed up so I wouldn't forget. Um, Overall, Deathly Hallows Part 1 was a really, really good movie. I loved it. I would give it a 9.5 because there's still some stuff that they could have done better with. Um, I actually found this, I've actually seen it twice. I went to the midnight showing and then I saw it again today. Um, the midnight showing was so much fun. There's, I'll post some links somewhere within the video and down in the description of the previous videos that I already did, which is one of them is the car ride over from Dylan's, because we went to Dylan's to get candy before we actually went to the movie. And then the second one is when we're waiting in line at midnight, and it was so much fun. And so the review of Deathly Hallows, there was a couple of things I wish were in there, and they weren't, because I was actually sitting there waiting for them, but they never happened. One of the scenes being the Dudley Harry scene at the beginning of the book, where pretty much Dudley is thanking Harry for saving him back in book 5. And, so they come to kind of like an amends, and I really loved that, but it wasn't in the movie. And that really kind of upset me a little bit. And I also wished Harry would have found the torn picture or letter in Sirius's room. Because that comes to play in the second half of the book. So I don't know how they're going to do that. Also, the Remus-Harry argument, where Remus is telling Harry that, I can't do this. I can't be a father. I can't, because, the werewolf thing, they don't know, like, if he has a kid, if he's going to be a werewolf or not, or if he just has to be bitten. And so he's afraid. And then Harry yells at him and everything. And I wish that was in the movie. In fact, they never even mentioned the fact that Tonks is pregnant in the movie. I know at the beginning, where they're at Harry's house, Tonks is like, "Well, we have something to tell you," and they never say it. So I was a little disappointed about that. And also, when they visit the Lovegood house, they go into Luna's room, and there's pictures of them and paintings, drawings, all of them all over the wall, and then they're like looped together with a chain that says "friends" like over and over again. And I thought that would have been really a great aspect, showing how much Luna cares and needs them. And I thought that would have been a really great aspect. And also, I didn't like how when they were at the ministry, when Harry left Umbridge's office, he didn't take Mad Eye's eye with him. And he just left it. Because I was sitting there in the theater, I was like, take it, just take it off and just take it with you. Because I don't know, that seemed really kind of important, how he didn't, Umbridge doesn't deserve to use Mad Eye's eye because she wanted him dead to begin with. So, now things that I really loved about this movie. There's so many things, and I wrote down a few. I can't remember them all because there's just so many great things, and I laughed. I love how they had humor in there, and you could just laugh, and and it wasn't like they particularly made it funny for it. Like, they weren't even lines. There's just some things that were done, a couple things that were said that weren't really funny, but the context that they were in were funny. I like how at the beginning of the movie, like, I was already like tearing up and everything. So I'm like, oh my gosh, it's almost over. And where you realize that there's all this bad stuff happening. There's a war going on, and you're realizing it because you see Harry and Ron and Hermione all in their separate areas, dreading this, reading the paper, seeing all these deaths that are happening. And it brings everything into perspective, showing you that not everything's good, not everything's going to be okay, and how Hermione hesitates before erasing her parents' memory of her. and how, you know, she realizes it's for the best, but she just she does it anyway. And I was I was I was in tears like when I was watching her being erased out of all the pictures of her and her family, and it was just so heart wrenching, and just it made you feel real, and you could be it, like it was relatable to the characters. I thought the Seven Potter scene was really epic. I love the Hagrid Harry thing where they were like going all over the place with the motorcycle. That was really, really, really great. I love that part. I liked how before they left Harry's house that Harry let Hedwig go. I actually had wished that they would have done it in the book, but they didn't. Because I liked how she was killed saving Harry than being killed while she's still in her cage. So, I mean, not that I liked her dying. I mean, it was bound to happen. But I'm glad that she died saving Harry in the movie instead of dying in her cage like she did in the book. That was one thing that I really loved. I also loved how Draco has so much emotion going on. Every time we see him, I can see the pain, the fear, the heart wrenchingness. You know, he's scared. He cared, and you get the sense that he cares, but there's nothing he can do about it, because if he even shows one hint of caring in front of Voldemort, he's going to die. And you know, and it's one of those things where he was forced into doing all of this stuff by Voldemort, because you know his father failed, and you don't really get that sense in the sixth movie, because you don't. It's something that doesn't. It's not brought up. It's not mentioned in the movie that he was pretty much forced to do this because his father failed him in the fifth movie by not getting the prophecy. So I love that you can see so much emotion on Draco's face, and he presents it so well. Tom Felton just did an amazing job with that. And I loved Neville, even though he only had one line in this movie. I loved him, and his line was so badass that it was just, I mean, he just stood up and said, "Loser, he's not here." And it was just amazing. It was just, Neville's just, yeah, you go, Neville. Love Neville. I can't wait to see him more in the second half, and which comes out July 15th. So far away. I loved Dobby, and if I bawled when they killed Dobby, and I every time I tear up every time I think about Dobby and everything. Dobby was one of my favorite creatures from the film. I love Dobby, and he died, and it was sad. I cried, but I love Dobby, and Dobby had some great lines. He's like, "I didn't mean to kill anybody, just maim or seriously injure." It was funny, and I'm gonna miss you, Dobby. I love you. I really loved the Horcrux scene when Ron returns and he kills that Horcrux. I loved that, the way they did that. I didn't actually picture it happening quite like that, where it was like this explosion out of the locket, and obviously the Harry Hermione scene was always in the book, but I like how they had the whole where it was taking form. I love that. The special effects, it was amazing. I probably have a lot of other things that are really great about the movie, but it's hard to decide. It's hard to pick just one good thing. But I hope you guys all enjoyed the movie. If you haven't seen it yet and you're still watching, I'm sorry for the spoilers. I did warn you ahead of time. But you should definitely go check it out. I've seen it twice. I went to the midnight release, and maybe I'll post some pictures somewhere in my next video that I do or something. And I hope that you guys have a good weekend, and I will see you guys later. Bye.